Hello everyone, Krydax here, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program RP-1. In our last episode, we were working on this radiometry satellite, which was breaking the solar panels because of this little decoupler. Kind of annoying, but I think the way to fix it is just going to be to offset the interstage doodad here, which doesn't really feel like cheating, so I'm fine with it. But yeah, we'll just move it down to here. And then I guess we could move the panels a little bit, because they're also kind of weirdly clippy. Because this thing's already tooled, so I don't really want to change the science core, but yeah, I mean, everything's just so small. Let's move them. So yeah, just a quick reminder of where we're at. We're working on the radiometry satellite here. And we can put it in whatever orbit we want because we happen to already put a different satellite in the correct orbit. So this one is freebie orbit, and we've kind of decided on an eccentric pattern, an eccentric orbit, because we're doing also the Cherenkov detector, which needs eccentricity of 0.04. So that's that. Where is it? Our electric charge, we've already kind of calculated, is good to go. Well, did we? We have 64 watts. And if we're getting half of that for half of our orbit, that's only 16 watts. And our communication takes more than that. So we are going to need more solar panel action. So let's make these, what, longer? Or wider, I guess it is. That just makes them even bigger. I might just rotate that. You know what? That's probably what I'll do. Why don't we rotate these so the little thingies... Oop, not that way. Like this. Because they get bigger based on the width, apparently. So yeah, that makes them feel a bit more realistic. And then that way it doesn't make it too much bigger. So yeah, maybe we can do something crazy like this. And that gets us 64 watts. Times 2, so that's really 30 watts, which should be enough to handle the transmission pretty consistently. So that might be a little too big. This is a little insane, but I don't know. I mean, you know, we gotta have that power for the solar. Let's maybe go a little bit smaller, maybe 1.8 there. And are we at the proper tech level? Tech level 1, yes. Gives it even better charge rate and less mass. Beautiful. All right, so that is good to go. This thing can be shifted up a little bit with a little bit more force. And then these spin motors should be good to go. Seems like it's slightly too close to the engines. And yeah, I think this is good to go. We're gonna have to simulate it again because of also, is the communicator, the antenna is disabled in this. Good. And we have the Cherenkov and radiometry. And we said that's going to take a total of 3 watts between that and the probe core. So I think we're doing pretty good there. Is there something I'm forgetting? Well, what I'm forgetting is to hit these buttons so they're started. Offset shouldn't matter. And motors, staging looks good. Technically, we don't even need to stage this. We could just put the panels on this thing. I didn't really think about that until just now. I don't know why I'm staging this. I guess it looks cooler. We'll do it because it looks cooler. We'll put our little disc in orbit. Orbital disc here. But yeah, I don't think that's strictly necessary. Okay, so we'll go ahead and simulate. What time is it right now? Is there a way I can find out? I'm not sure. Because we do want to launch around noon. I guess I can just time warp here in the simulation. And then for PVG settings, we want to be pretty eccentric. So let's try this. Early shut off, 1, unguided 1, last stage 1. Coast stage 3. Plenty of DV for that. And then this needs to be pointed north, so I'll go do that. I gotta go grab something real quick. I will be right back. Okay, sorry. So anyway, we've got this set up. I don't know. Oh, it says eccentricity right here. That's convenient. 900. 200 by 700. Not quite enough. 800. Let me see. So if we have our satellite, got my spreadsheet here. If we've got our satellite at 800 kilometers, the max distance is still 3.3 million meters for the satellite distance. I'm not sure. Where's the thingy? Transmit antenna planner. So if I'm at 3,300, no connection, but I can transmit. I'm pretty sure I tested this and that actually means I can't transmit. What about at like 2,800? Still no? 25? Okay, at 2,500 we just barely get a connection. Okay. That should be good enough. That'll mean some of our orbit we won't be transmitting science, which is not my favorite, but most of the orbit we will. And to be fair, we could still be transmitting when we're at 800 kilometers. It's just that if we're at 800 kilometers and the angle is large, we won't be able to transmit to that station. But if the angle is small, like if we're right over a station at 800 kilometers, we can totally do that. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and hit launch. We'll see if this simulation works. 3, 2, 1. Kaboom! And we'll just hyperwarp this whole dang thing. At some point, we're going to have to upgrade our launch vehicles. I'm pretty excited for that. We're getting some new researches. There's all sorts of new engines. So, that'll be nice. Well, that's not what I was expecting. Huh. They soaked up a heckin' lot of air molecules there. Going very fast. Alright, okay, we rearrange this, I guess. We're gonna stage the fairing a bit later. And maybe we'll go, I don't know. Gosh, those things burned up fast. Maybe we need 80 kilometers for fairing here. Let's try 80. 1, 1, 1, 3. Go. Alright, let's try this. This time with... Oh no, my fairings need to be bigger. They're sticking out of the fairings pretty badly. Well, we'll have to fix that. We can also fix that part. That doesn't need to happen since I'm not ditching the fairing before this stages. There's no reason to not have a more efficient turn here. And then this goes for a little bit. Then we ditch the fairings. Seems like the solar panels can handle that. And then we're in space. And then it says, hey, let's turn on our RCS. Do some coasting. Provide the ullage, which is provided, and decouple and launch. And we get ourselves an orbit that is properly eccentric. Wow, look at that. 199.6 and 799.7 when it was going for 200 by 800. Now that's MechJeb PVG for you. Working the way it's supposed to. Okay, now hopefully they didn't break this time. No broken? No broken? Perfect. Occluded by Sputnik antenna? Are you joking me? This little tiny thing can occlude an entire solar panel? I mean, it's only for a moment, but still, that cracks me up that that can occlude the solar panels. Anyway, we are positive on energy here. So now we need to test. Oh, look, we've already transmitted some forest data here. So we need to go ahead. I would like to actually have energy. How do we do that? This button, this button. Just kind of want to keep an eye on that. And then I can keep an eye on the experiments here as well. So then as we go, we should see some numbers popping up here. Time warp a bit more. So we're 12 hours in. I'm looking at the top left here, mission elapsed time. Okay, so 1 day in, we have electric charge. We've collected a good amount here. It seems like we are constantly transmitting the Chernikov, and then we're getting the radiometry in whenever we can. So I'm just curious how long it's going to take to transmit 50% from each of the biomes. According to Kerbalism here. So we're 8 days, 10 days. Oh, we finished the cosmic ray science. So we're only about 10 days away from that. Okay, we're still a ways away. 11 days. Let's warp to like 20 days. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's going to take about a month to complete, and then we'll have that done. Sweet. Cool beans, cool beans, cool beans. I think we are good to go to just hit the old Launcherino button. Yeah? Oh, nope. We have a fairing that is a bit A bit garish, is it not? How do I fix this? I fix this by going cylinder start, max size a little bigger, and then the cylinder doesn't start till up there. Oh, that is ugly. Cannot wait for hinged solar panels, let me tell ya. I think it'll just look better even if it's a little heavier like that. Okay. Save that bad boy. Launch that bad boy. Oh. Tool that bad boy. Really? These fairings aren't tooled? You're gonna charge me 11 grand? How are these not tooled? Payload fairing. We have a million things that are tooled here. 1.8 by all sorts of lengths is already tooled. So wait, what length does this count as? This counts as 2.2. Oh, it's using... Oh, I get it. I mean, that makes sense now that I think about it. It's using the max size here. So... It's actually using, this to... No, it's saying 2.2. Where is it getting 2.2 from? 2.2 by 4.6. Interesting. So it's like that plus a little bit? Very inconsistent, isn't it? It's like an extra 10%. Yeah, something like that. So we've got 1.8 by... what size? All sorts of lengths. 4.49, 4.69, 3.99. So a little shorter or a little taller. There we go. And now I'm gonna ask myself, how important is it that the solar panels are this big? And the answer is not that important. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna shrink them just a smidgen. Make them just a little bit wider. Compensate. And then we're gonna shrink them a bit. And then just to make sure, we're gonna space this out just a smidgen down. Just to make sure that doesn't hit anything. And they're still poking through. One more. A little bit wider. How about now? Still poking through, huh? Okay, now can I increase the max size? Nope, tooling cost. What about just a little bit? Ah! I hate when you're just trying to change it just a little bit. Okay. There's still no tooling cost for that. 1.69 meters seems to work fine. No clipping. You don't see that pixel right there, and neither do I. Perfect. All right, now we can save it and launch it. Perfect. And this thing only costs about 12.5 grand. And that will not only pay for itself in reputation, but it will get us closer to the completion. What is that? Oh, right. Get us closer to the completion of our wonderful contract. Or program, I should say. Okay, so that's now on our combined list. What do we need to do? Digital communications is queued up. I need to put an orbital perturbation in space. But I'm thinking, because the data rate is so absurd on this, and we need to have a big inclination. I mean, how much science do I get from that? Orbital perturbation experiment. Around Earth. Is going to give me 220 science in space low over the course of 10 years. It's a 10-year experiment. Oh my goodness. I love that. So obviously we need something with good solar panels. Though it doesn't need a lot of wattage. It just, the solar panels have to last through the degradation. And the inclination can be just a high inclination orbit. It doesn't even have to be polar. But yeah, that's something we want to start designing, because as soon as we're done with... No, I can design that now. Right. Okay, well, let's get this next one launched. It's 40 days away. And the digital communications will get us the ability to do digital encoding. Comms tech level 2. And then this is a pretty huge upgrade. Slower degradation, less cost, and more power. So solar panels get a lot better. And we can do hinged solar panels, which in a way gets us more solar panelage for the similar size probe. And then better mass per unit for nav. So all of these upgrades are going to be really helpful. My orbital rocketry is a little bit behind my probe science. There's all sorts of great things, but let's just warp here. Warpy warp. Okay, roll it out. Warp to sunrise. Oh no, we need a warp to noon. Right. Okay, so time warp here. Wait until the shadows are just not quite at a right angle to the VAB. Right about here is perfect. So that way the sun should be pointing right at our butt as we go in a polar orbit here. Alright, quick save, ascent guidance, PVG setting. That's still correct from before. These are easy. 1, 1, 1, 3. And that's literally it. Ready, steady, go. Alright, she's off. What do we have now? We've got 8,000 data units on this engine, so we are getting real consistent here. What about on the AJ-10? AJ-10 is also getting really consistent. We got over 20-minute mean time between failure, which is great. And then I think we've had 10,000 data units on these aerobies for a while now. They still have an okay chance of failure though. Like, it's certainly possible. I should certainly be using more consistent engines at this point. But you know, I guess we'll just fly by the seat of our pants. Fly by the curbs of our pants. Seat of our Kerbals. Oh, I forgot to change. That was bad. Oh! Whoa! LR-43 NA3 is failed with explosion. But the failure has given us valuable data. Uh-oh. Well, I don't know if we're gonna make it anymore. Our calculator's not figuring it out. Oh, jeez. I feel like we should still be able to make it though, but it's not fixing the calculations. I take out a fixed coast length. Oh no. Oh no. Well, let's just see what it does here. Should I take over manually? Target unreachable. That's bad. Don't give me that. Well, I'll fly it myself. Oh, we don't have enough delta V. I see. The problem is our apoapsis is not. It was expecting another 1,000 delta V to push our apoapsis higher. So we can do this, but we're gonna crash and burn on re-entry. Dang. What the heck? That's a new one. That's a new one. Well. That was a spectacular failure. And unfortunately delayed our plans. But guess what? We have more money. We can make another one. You know, I knew after we had 4 navsat payloads get to orbit with 0 incidents, I knew we were gonna have some bad luck. It, you know, it had to happen. It just had to happen. This should be done any moment, though. Okay, we got our researchers done. Is that really still not done? But that was only 20-something days from being done last time. I have doubts that this Kerbalism is perfectly accurate. Because when I simulated, before we built the first version of this, that experiment finished 24 days into the simulation. And I just wasted like another 40 days. And it still isn't done? gotta be close. Oh, it just finished. Okay, so now we have to fly the fire ant. Who was it? Atmo analysis? Sunsync? Fire ant 3? Which one was it that did... It's one of the ones with... I think it's this one. Maybe. Yeah, infrared radiometry. Wait. Radiometry? No. I think this is the one. Yay! Cosmic ray science is complete. So that gives us more reputation. And thankfully, gosh, that one, we took that contract like 2 years ago. This is the one we're about to do. Okay, so it gives us 2 more. These are the final 2 for early Earth observational. Magnetic scan and Chernikov. Can we double dip? The Chernikov wants eccentricity really high. Same as the previous one. But I can cheese this again. I feel maybe I shouldn't, but the craft I'm about to launch will get 75% from high Earth orbit. Never mind. It'll get the data from low Earth orbit. So that's good, I guess. All right, and let's go ahead and warp to noon again. All right. Shadow approacheth to the north. Right there is good. Hopefully this radiometry launch can go better than the last one. We had explosive results. It actually remembered everything. Cool. Okay, let's quick save and see what happens. Please don't explode on me this time. We did end up with almost the full 10,000 data units after that failure. So now it has a very low chance of failure. But, you know, it's not a non-zero chance of failure. Yeah, see, last time it blew up somewhere around here, and so we did lose a good 1,500 delta V or so. All right, next stage is off. There's the fairings. Push ourselves to 200 apoapsis. And here comes the RCS stage, the coasting. I think we're good to go. Oops. I may reload that. Oh no, we had an engine failure. Again? Freaking again? I'm gonna disengage the autopilot because it's gonna cut the burn too early. I need to watch. We're doing this flying by the seat of our Kerbals again. I'm gonna watch the periapsis, and we might have enough delta V still, even with reduced performance. God, I can't believe this. You know, third tries the charm. Apparently it's still a thing. Okay. No! Oh, our eccentricity is 0.037. No! I was thinking 700 would be fine. I forgot it wasn't that number that was important. It was this number. I wasn't watching this number. And I cut the throttle too early. Well, the important part is we have solar panels and the radiometry running. Dear goodness. Oh my good gracious gosh. So, I mean, that's at least going. I guess we needed another craft for the Chernikov detector anyway, so I'm just going to count that as a loss. Goodness. What a mess. What a mess. Okay, so infrared radiometry is done, so I have 2 more, and then we're done with early Earth observational satellites. Perfect. Okay, so we're definitely going to get this done in 2 years, because I already have the other 2 basically available to me. So which one do we want to design first? I didn't mean to click on that. I meant to upgrade it. So we need to upgrade our tracking station to and it's expensive. I might have to wait for a little more funding to come in. Maybe instead we build so magnetometry. Let's look at which one's easier to get into orbit. This one. This one's not. Is that the wrong number? $3 million, not 30 million. 3 million is still Earth low. But 250. Oh, sorry. I see it now. Okay, we just need to be between these numbers. And then our eccentricity needs to be 0.75. Which... Let me get my eccentricity calculator running. Okay, I am back, and we're looking to math out 0.75 eccentricity. So eccentricity is basically like, imagine you have a 1 plus this and a 1 minus this divided by each other, and that gives you the ratio of the apoapsis to the periapsis. So imagine 1.75 divided by 0.25, right? So that's because you're adding the 75 and then you're subtracting the 75. And that's going to give you, you know, what is that? It's 7. So that means the apoapsis needs to be 7 times bigger than the periapsis. And that's after you account for adding the radius of the Earth, which is like 7, million meters. So that's going to mean an apoapsis probably around like 50 million meters. So I'm going to plug in, and we need our periapsis to be above 3 million. So I'm going to plug in 3,200 kilometers. And then we could try an apoapsis of 45 million. And even that's not enough. 55 million? That's getting there. 65 million. Okay, so periapsis of 3.2 mil, apoapsis of 65 mil gets us what we want. Okay. And this thing needs electric charge. Could this also do my gravimetric? No. I don't think we're going to be able to mix any of these, are we? Yeah, that has a periapsis between those two numbers. This has a periapsis above 3 mil, and this has a periapsis above 1 mil. But this one has to be circular, so there's really no combining here of these, unfortunately. But yeah, this one, for whatever reason, is the one I'm wanting to do right now. So let's do it. Magnetometry. No, this is the one that I want better data on, right? Because this thing is going to use 1 million bytes. This thing's going to use 1 million billion bytes. Where even is it? Wait, what? Magnetic scan. Wait. I don't have this unlocked. I've confused myself. What? Magnetic scan science. We got that forever ago. Have I not done that? Hold the phone. What's going on here? Have I not done magnetic scan of low Earth? Apparently not. I must have had a dead craft that collected it. Interesting. Okay. So this one's not as bad as I thought. It's only 1 byte, but we are going to need better communications because we're going to be 50 million meters away. So if I were to just grab, this communotron, we're going to need tech level 2. Though it takes more watts, it should be able to connect further, I think. Let's assume the ground stations are tier 2. See, now we're getting in the kilobytes, or well, kilobits per second, with tech level 2. And let's say we are what did I say? 65 million meters? Yeah, see, we won't be able to connect to these stations. That's important though, because most of the stations around the planet aren't. Okay, so here we go. So I could probably handle something like this. So these other stations, it looks like there's 3 that have a 50 dBm. Canberra, Goldstone. Thought there was one more. Oh, and then there's this one, the NIP-16 tracking station. So there's 2 tracking stations that have the 76 dBm, I think. Another 40. Yeah. So there's 2 of these and 2 that are kind of almost as good. I mean, I guess they're not quite there, but they're at least 50 dBm. Interesting. First thing I need to do is purchase the tech node before I forget. But then we're going to need to upgrade the tracking station, which costs money. So, sorry, after all that, I think I'm deciding we're going to chill on this one for a minute because it requires comms that are a little better than what we have. So instead, we'll do this one, maybe? Or this one. Oh, that one's not even required. Let's do this one first then. Eccentricity still has to be very high, but it's not going to be as extreme as the other one. Interesting. Alright, comms tech level 2 purchased. Boom. Wait, did that not cost me money? Oh, did we use unlock credit for that? Might have counted as unlock credit. That's nice. That means I feel like I can afford the tracking station upgrade. Now we are losing money. That's not good. In fact, how much are we losing? In 37 days, we're losing 6 grand. Okay, we need some more reputation, it sounds like. Or I need to fire some scientists. Man. I feel like I'd really like to build these with better comms. And I can. I'm just not going to be able to communicate with them until we upgrade the tracking station again, which is going to be another 60 grand later, or 50 grand, or 100 grand. I don't even know how much it's going to cost. A lot of moolah. Okay, interesting. These are such similar contracts. I really wish we could do both at the same time. But they just have mutually exclusive periapsis requirements. So they're going to be pretty similar missions, to be honest, which is good. It means we can design a pretty similar thing. And that thing is going to, it's going to be a whole new fresh creation, because I'm tired of all the things we've already been doing. So we're going to start fresh. Battery 2, diameter 0.8. Foil. It's going to be near Earth. Controllable mass. We already have experience with 2.6 tons, so I might just do that. And then it's going to have enough power for, we'll just say 2 megajoules for now. We can figure the rest out later. Okay, so we'll start with this, and then we'll give it some RCS. And look, I'm tired of everything just being a cylinder. So let's have some fun here. Let's make you fillet cylinder. That's really kind of a sphere. And we're gonna need to be way smaller. And that's gonna have the whatchamacallit on it, the RCS. And the reason we need RCS is to point our solar panels at the sun. We'll get to that in a moment. Alright, we'll do a scale of 0.15. Three-way should be good enough. In fact, two-way might be good enough. I don't know if I actually need... I don't know if I need this to do ullage, do I? Maybe. Maybe. Okay, couple things. Here, nitrous oxide is so much more efficient. And you get more thrust. Look, thruster power 0.23, nitrogen is 0.09, and the ISP is almost triple. So nitrous oxide is very much worth it, and it's an unlock cost, which is basically free for me right now anyway. So we'll get a lot more bang for our buck if we put nitrous oxide in these little orbs. According to this, we get... That doesn't sound right. 4 seconds of RCS? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, that can't be right. 200 seconds of RCS sounds more accurate. And then I will set those in a little bit. Not that much, though. Like this. Okay, so there you go. Is it the most cost efficient? Probably not, because I'm guessing these have a flat cost, and if I were to make one that was slightly bigger, yeah, this is very inefficient to do it the way I'm doing it. It's okay. It's more fun. And fun is why we're here. So we need a couple things. We need science experiments. We need to turn the antenna off because we're going to do a better one. I guess we could put it right in the middle. For now. No, we're going to need a solid booster up there. We can put it off center to be weird. Okay, the antenna in here is off. The experiments, we're gonna want Chernikov. And do we also want magnetometer? Because we could put both in both, and then we'd get the data faster. Right? That seems reasonable. 6 watts. 15 kilograms feels like a good bit, but we'll be okay. I mean, we're already, if we're doing near Earth avionics anyway. So I actually kind of want both. And I don't think we need any of the other science thingies because we've already done all the science from those. And orbital perturbation requires an inclination. That I don't think we're gonna have. I mean, I guess we could launch this craft into an inclined orbit too. I think we'll say no on that for now. Okay. And then now for solar, we can finally use these gorgeous hinged. Why can we? Wait, how far away is that? Never mind. Maybe I should reorder to get the better solar sooner. So for now, all I can use is these dorks. And that still takes 95 watts. Maybe the idea is to get this in position, and then I have a science core avionics that takes over. That's just, you know, no antenna, no experiments, just the cheapest, no battery. It'll just be the tiny little guy. GUI. Don't need the comm shifter. If I do battery 2, could it be smaller? I don't know. But yeah, we'll do the earliest version. 1 kilojoule. Because it's only 2 kilograms more. It only costs me 30 units. I guess it's like 100 more in terms of, you know, effective cost. Because it's, what, quadruple? 3x for avionics cost, but that's still not that much. And now what we can do is we can shut down this avionics when we get in position and have this facing the sun. Okay. That could be a plan. That could be the plan. So then this thing needs to be in an extremely high orbit. This one's tricky because we're gonna need a double Hohmann transfer, and I've never done a double before. We're gonna need one burn. I guess it's not really a double, it just doesn't circularize. Yeah, our initial orbit is going to be 145 kilometers, and then it's going to raise our apoapsis to 3,200. And then from there, we just need one burn that raises our periapsis, which is now 145 kilometers, to 250,000 kilometers. Which is a pretty huge change. I'm not sure what the math on that is. So if our 145,000 Okay, so right now, the 145X 3200, we have speed at Apo is 8531.7, and speed at Perry is 5808. Oh, that's backwards. Eight oh 8.4. I plugged the numbers into the opposite slots. 85131.7. Okay. And then we want to go to a 3200X 260,000 kilometer orbit. $260, 123, 123. A lot of zeros. 260 million meter orbit. That is correct. Okay. That is what the contract wants, right? 260 million meters. Yes. It just feels like such a big number. But the eccentricity of that is 0.93. So more than sufficient. And here we have a speed at Apo, doesn't really matter, but it's 322.2. The speed at Perry is what matters, which is 8966.8. So these two, this is the speed differential. No. These, that doesn't sound right. Oh God. Holy crap. I need 3100 delta V for that burn. Good gravy. Is that right? Is that right? Unfortunately, I think it is. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a dummy. Again, apoapsis below. We already did this. We said we were gonna do 65 million. So like this. Okay, sorry. It doesn't need to be 250. 65 should work. 3200 by 65 million has an eccentricity of 0.7635. Okay, so that's a little better. This one has a speed at periapsis of 8570. Still pretty huge deal here. Am I being a dummy? Yeah. Hey guys. Have you ever been so far as to want to go do more with, and then you so far as want to not do that thing? 'Cause I did. We're an hour and 4 minutes into this episode, and apparently I need more coffee. So what's happened here is I'm a dummy. I don't know why my brain didn't comprehend that I could just start with step 1 being to raise my apoapsis to 65 million. And then when I'm at 65 million, I raise my periapsis to 3200. I don't understand why I didn't start here But I didn't. Don't judge me. Don't judge me too hard, anyway. Alright, so the new numbers, because I'm apparently a smart person that can figure things out. Hey, you know, this is literally rocket science. Give me a break. Alright, SA is now 1149.3, and SP is 8570. Oh, we already calculated that. Oh, this is the one that's wrong. 145 kilometers. There we go. Okay, so SA 966.7, SP 10588.2. So we are going to need a heckin' lot of delta V, is what that means, on our initial stages to get that high of an apoapsis. So that's for reals, right? We are going to need a lot of delta V. But the upper stage only needs this difference. So we do 1149.3 minus 966.7. I am going to grab a calculator for that. I'm sure I could do it the long way if I so desired. They got to the moon with pencils and paper. I can at least do arithmetic, but I'm not going to. I'm literally a math teacher. I've done plenty of math in my life. I don't need to do arithmetic. Okay, 1149.3 minus 966.7, and that gives us 182.6. That's more what I thought we were going to be dealing with. I was very surprised by these numbers at first, but this number's kind of scary. This number is kind of scary. Because that's the speed that we're going to have to be going after we're in space, which means the amount of delta V we're going to need. You get a free 400 from... I mean, what's the best way to put this? You need... So, basic orbit at 145 kilometers is an orbital speed of 7821, right? So 78, whoa, the scroll does two things. 7821 is your basic speed, but you need about 9100-ish. It depends on your aerodynamics and TWR and all that, but it can be anywhere from 9,000 to 9.4 thousand to achieve this. So that means you're kind of spending an overhead cost to get to orbit of about 1,200. We'll call it 1,400. So then, if I need to be going this fast, that means my rocket needs to have 12,000 delta V plus this final stage that has 182.6 more delta V. This is no joke. I may need a new launch vehicle for this, because this is kind of intense, or a new launch complex, I mean. This is an intense thing. And I certainly... I'm trying to think. What's the orbital period of this? The orbital period of this is... Well, 145 by 65 million is about a day. 76,000 seconds. Interesting. Because I'm just thinking about where the sun will be, and if I'm doing an unguided science probe for this final kick, I'd save myself a lot of delta V. But I'm not going to know where the sun is at that point, so I won't be facing the sun anymore. But if it's just about a day, it'll be close enough. There's all sorts of interesting things I'm trying to figure out right now. I love rocket science, because if we spin stabilize it and we put some panels on the top and we launch east, then it's gonna stay facing the sun the whole time. Right, I'm being dumb again. It doesn't matter how long, because we're not turning. I don't need this RCS. We're not turning. I'm gonna stay pointed prograde towards the sun, and then we're gonna have rockets on the top that are retrograde, and we're still gonna be spinning when we get there. It'll be just like the 4 navsats that I just did. I'm literally doing the same idea. I don't know why my brain keeps trying to tell me it's gonna work differently. And I think because of that, we can then have a much more likely to make it to orbit situation. Because all we actually need is this avionics. And we can drop all that. So, and the solar panel time, the actual wattage, this claims 8.1. Avionics and comms. What about science? Oh, I didn't put the science in these. The science that we want is the magnetometer. And that needs 6 watts. I don't know if, have I done telemetry from space high? I think I have. Let me double check on that. Telemetry from space high, I have done. Okay, so we don't need that. All right. So we're using 14 watts, which means we need a panel that can. What's my dark side time? According to the math, the dark side time could be up to 3 hours if, because we're in a very, oh no, that's not the right number. 3,200. 100, yeah, about 3 hours actually. So that's 10,000 seconds. So 14 kilojoules would be 1,000 seconds, so 140 kilojoules. So 1 megajoule is more than enough for this. So that brings our total weight up to 30 kilograms. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And that's literally it, right? No, I need the solar panel. Sorry. Still missing a very important thing. And this, oh, we haven't configured this. Damn. Here I thought we were smart and doing smart things. VHF. Doesn't go above 50 dBm. So at 65 million meters. Like, when do we drop below a kilobit? It's at around 18 dBm. For the UHF band, it's at like 0. Because it has a UHF 76. But the VHF, the other ones I might be able to be connected to. No, I won't be able to be connected to those even on VHF at that max distance. So really what I do want to focus on are these VHF 50s. Interesting. So because they upgrade these stations to UHF 76, I think I can go lower on my transmit power. Yeah, I mean, the minimum here is 8 watts, so I might as well use 9 watts and be at 20 dBm. Okay, so 9 watts. Just say, oh no, it's gonna be like very low % transmission time because, right, so I can make this even a little more powerful if I want. Because it transmits so fast. Oh, but I can save weight on my craft if I make it a little weaker. Right. So let's go with a nice middle ground of 26 dBm. And then, yeah, because the science is only gonna produce a few bits per second, you know? This guy only makes 8 bits a second, and that's it. So we're using basically no active transmission time. Every once in a while it'll send a blip. One quick blip back. Okay, so we need a retro motor. Retro rocket, whatever you want to call it. What is this? Is this too big? No, that's only 16 delta V. Because our note says we need 182.6 pointing backwards. Baby Sergeant too much for that? Oh, it's way too much. How is a separation motor? It doesn't want to connect on that node. Even that is too much. I mean, I could certainly use 2 of these to balance out and then just remove their stuff. What are my other methods even? Monopropellant propulsion? Spin motors? Spin motors, but not used for spinning? I guess that's an option. Their dry mass is terrible, though. But then again, the whole thing is only 40 kilograms. Because that's just about the delta V we need. The problem is the inconsistency. I would love to have something in the middle like that where we can not have to worry about torque offset. Because torque offset is death. So what if I do this? I fill that with nitrogen. That can't be right. I guess the vacuum ISP really is terrible. But if we do the nitrous oxide thing, that's a lot better. We need 182.6. So that would work. So I'm spinning around. We've launched towards the sun, so I need panels on the front to get me 14 watts, 28 watts total. Can't wait for hinged solar panels. Because for now they're literally just gonna have to stick out the side and it's gonna look ridiculous. But is this the way to do it? I mean, I'm not really sure. I guess we can simulate it and try it, see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know the best way to do this at all. What are the variants? Hexagons, rectangles. A couple different looks. Those are kind of cool. That's 10 watts right there. I feel like the play is to do 2, and then they can be a little bit bigger each. And then that's charging at 10. If we're facing the sun, we're not going to be in the dark for a very large percentage. In shadow, we have 19 hours, which is more than enough. And then we're gonna have a long time to charge up. So as long as we're power positive, it should be fine. Something like this. Okay. And how long is this experiment gonna run? This one is the magnetometry. Which runs for only 30 days. Plus space low, so 60 days at the most. So nothing too crazy there. Solar panels should be fine. Okay. And we said we need 182.6. I guess the thing I don't know is, can you stage? I guess we're about to find out. First of all, let's save this under something. What do we call you? I don't know. Deep Space 1. If we're in orbit, and we'll just do circular 65 million. Can I stage and use this RCS? Is kind of my first question. And we're probably going to need to be done with this episode soon, but... Okay, we extend the antenna. And I have no connection. Right, because the ground centers are not updated yet. So they're just not going to work. So I can't even simulate this until the tracking station's upgraded. That bites. That's tricky. That's really tricky. I had never considered that. That makes tracking station upgrades really interesting. Unless there's a way I can simulate. I mean, we can trust the antenna planner, but that's a little scary. But I mean, yeah, I'm just trying to simulate right now if I can control this thing in the first place. So let's start with that. So, extend the antenna. Okay, now it's connected. And okay, I can throttle up and down. And that's all we need to be able to do. And this is actually really nice because if I have a little bit too much delta V, I can throttle down at the end. So that helps. Okay. You think it's pointing the sun by default? No, quite the opposite. Not even close. I'm just enjoying my infinite ignitions right now. And not having to deal with ullage. That's very fun. It's like playing normal Kerbal Space Program. Haven't felt that in a while. Okay, so anyway, the yeah, the ISP here is much better on nitrous oxide. What about HTP? What's that? HTP, the engine mass is the same. Vacuum thrust is very similar. Honestly, I'm not really sure the difference. The ISP is worse. I don't know what the... I mean, there's so many options here. But between these three, it seems like hydrazine has the best ISP, but then nitrous oxide feels just better than HTP. Maybe it's a little more expensive. But the amount that I'm buying, surely it doesn't even matter. Now, are these thrusters all the same? Like, is this just... This is just a monopropellant engine, and it does all the same things as the other ones, right? Like, if I switch this one to nitrous oxide, it'll just be double that one. Yeah, 460. Yeah. Okay. So this is just a way to use monopropellant as engines, and these are various sizes of engines. All right, well, I'm pretty happy with that. 182.6, let's go a little bigger here. Since I can cut the throttle whenever I want. It's a fun new ability I have. We'll have a few extra delta V here. So then, this thing that we have right now needs to have, it needs to be going at a speed of, what did we say? 10,588 meters per second at 145 kilometers. And if that is the case, and we can get it going that fast, then we will be able to accomplish this mission. And the stage before this needs to spin it up. So, I've been wanting to use this guy. I've looked at this one a couple times. Here, let's get a decoupler here. Decoupler. But yeah, I've looked at this one a couple times, and it has pretty freaking good delta V for being a solid booster. I think it's the best one there is. You know, the ISP is 238, but the wet to dry mass is what's really crazy. Look at this. It's 22 out of 192 is the dry mass, which is a hugely small amount for a solid motor. You know, even a baby Sergeant is about 5 out of 27, which is what, a fifth, a sixth? It's in between a fifth and a sixth, whereas this is like a ninth, right? So that's huge. And compare it to the, I mean, the R103 is half, you know, those are the old crappy ones. But even like, Well, what are the other options we have? The separation motor here is about half. The spin motor is terrible at 2/3. Baby Sergeant Cluster is about a 1/6, in between a 5th and a 6th again. And then there's the Altair, which is the upgraded version of this thing, and it's even better. Literally 10% dry mass. And its ISP is 255. So I'd love to use one of those for this final stage. When am I gonna have it researched? The 59 to 60 solid rocket engines, which according to my management, I will have done in 60, 130 days. Oh, is this today's date? Or no, that's the next one that'll get done. Okay. So currently it's, what, April of 59? So that's only 5 months from now? Okay, when I think about it that way, it's not that bad. It's a little more than 5 months, maybe. But then we could have the Altair. Well, let's try it with the GK, or whatever this thing is called, GCRC, and see if we can get a good delta V here. But I mean, that's 3,200, and this is 2,560. Granted, it is a little lighter overall, so it's hard to compare 1-to-1. But we already know how much better the Altair is. It's a lot. But yeah, we'll try the one that we have unlocked and see if we can get anything good going on here. We're also going to need little spin motors on the stage before this. Starting to wonder if we should have 2 unguided stages. And do we have an upgrade for the AJ-10? No. 58 orbital rocketry, though, will get me one. And then 59 orbital rocketry gets me another one. But I'm not doing that yet. But 58 orbital rocketry gets me one that burns longer, has a higher TWR. Well, I guess it's actually worse thrust. Never mind. And slightly worse ISP. So it's mainly just a longer burn that gets you and better reliability. Ignition chance goes about the same, but the reliability goes up by quite a bit. And that's only carrying over 2,000 data units from the previous. So the longer burn time would make up for a little bit of other stuff. Anyway, that's not incredible. What's this engine? The XLR-81. Oh, it's big. That's a big boy. Just raw stats wise, we're looking at a mass that is only slightly more than the AJ-10. About double the thrust, similar ISP, no gimbal. That's actually a huge downside. No gimbal. No gimbal. The ISP is actually worse. And the burn time is 60 seconds only, and the reliability is terrible. Okay, this thing sucks right now. We definitely could improve it, but it sucks right now. So I'm probably not going to use that over the AJ-10. Yeah, I don't really think that's worth it. Oh, not subject to ullage. I didn't notice that. well, that's handy. But kind of unnecessary for this stage. Were any of these good? That's like a rocket engine, right? Yeah, that's not what we're looking for. That's also a rocket engine. Yeah. What's this thing? The RD-0105. A Kerbal's gas generator vacuum engine. It has liquid oxygen. Ooh, it's fun looking. Ooh, the ISP is 316. Has a TWR of 40. Okay, that's not terrible. TWR wise, it's similar to the AJ10, but it has a better ISP. So by a lot, 316 is a huge improvement. So just for kicks, let's see what kind of stage delta V we can get here. Okay, and it's rated for burn. Oh my god. Do you see that burn time though? Although the reliability is trash, so you probably don't want to burn it for that long. Oh my gosh, the ignition chance. Just a straight up 10% chance your mission fails because this won't ignite the first time you use it. Fun. Gotta love that. But, we can kind of burn it for as long as we want to. So I could easily get 4,000 delta V out of that. That's crazy. Okay, well this is feeling more and more doable. How much delta V did I need? 12,000 though? God, so we still need another 5,000. I'm thinking the path is gonna be something like, you know, a couple radially mounted GCRCs or something. Though then we get into trouble with residuals and stuff. But you know, something like this, so that we can do. The ordering is trash. Okay, fire that. Decouple that. Fire those two. Radially decouple, then fire that one. So yeah, I mean, that gets us well over 7,000. What were we at before? Oh, that doesn't actually help that much. But it is only adding 500 kilograms for another 300 delta V. Well, I think we'll have to end the episode here. This has been a long one, and we're going to continue designing a new launch vehicle for small little probes to get into a very large orbit. So yeah, we'll figure out kind of what combination of things. I've still got more engines I haven't even looked at, but this one's looking attractive so far for what we're going to need, and we'll see. We might not need a new launch complex. We might be able to make it work. There's a couple other new ones too. So anyway, we'll call it there though. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next episode.